What's up guys, Ghost here. So today I wanted to talk about environmental kills in Overwatch and how you can make use of them. I'm pretty sure most of you know what environmental kills are, but for those who don't, it's basically where you die from something within the map's environment. And in Overwatch, that usually means falling off the side of the map. So most of you who are relatively new to the game will have tried out all the different characters and abilities, and when going into a match, probably consider their strengths and weaknesses along with the map you're playing on when it comes to picking a hero. For example, King's Row has a lot of great sniping positions and I'm on defense, so I'm going to play Hanzo or Widowmaker. However, on certain maps, it really pays to consider which characters are capable of environmental kills. So here I'm playing Control on Nepal, and we're on the third control point, which is called Sanctum. So you've got Village, Shrine, and then you've got Sanctum. Now you've probably noticed that the capture point itself is partially surrounded by a pit that you can fall down. So with that in mind, I've decided to play Roadhog to try and hook my enemies into that pit. So you can see I'm playing here on the right side of the map. I've taken that flank, and between these stone pillars you can actually hook people off of that objective. Now I'm mainly trying to go for tanks here since they have a large health pool. They take me quite a while to burn down, so if I can just simply hook one of the tanks off the edge and he can't get back on there, that's a huge advantage for our team. Now of course, some characters, like we're up against a D.Va, we're up against a Winston, they can use their abilities to get out of that hook and get back up on the objective, but should their ability be on cooldown, they're pretty much screwed, and this is especially advantageous against D.Va, since if you hook her mech off the side and she can't boost back up there, not only do you take out her mech, but you also take out D.Va herself very easily. Now another nice advantage of playing this particular part of the map is that I have that nice big health pack there behind me, and that coupled with Junkrat's Take a Breather ability means I can heal up very quickly. Now you could also pick a character like Lucio to play on this objective. If you wanted to be playing a support, you wanted to be on the actual objective and capturing it with your team, which is of course very important, I would definitely pick Lucio since he can use his Soundwave ability and he can push people off the edge. Now a lot of you will also know that Pharah is a great hero for environmental kills as well, but she's not particularly good for this map since she doesn't really have a huge amount of room to play around in. It's quite enclosed and she can very easily get caught. You know, she can get hooked by a Roadhog or she can get sniped off there. Now you'll notice here that I'm actually going around the other side of the map, and the reason for that is because I have my ultimate. I see that the enemy team, they're on the point, they're trying to capture it, so I'm just going to go ahead and ulti everyone off the side, or as many characters as I can. And just that single-handedly has pretty much shut down them trying to take the control point away from us. So that left point is a very nice place to note. You can drop down there, you can surprise people on the objective, and you can, well yeah, quite literally get the drop on them. Now this is a single situation with only one map and one hero, but this is of course possible with multiple heroes and on multiple different control points. So to name a few heroes, as I mentioned earlier, Pharah has a considerable amount of knockback with her rockets, as well as her concussive blast ability. Lucio can knock people off very effectively with his Soundwave ability, so if I wanted to play a support class on this capture point and stay on the point with my team, I would definitely pick Lucio rather than, say, Zenyatta. Now these three heroes are really your prime choice for environmental kills, but other heroes can also be effective to a certain degree. So Junkrat's grenades have a small amount of knockback, Soldier 76's Helix rockets do as well, and then Winston can be very effective on his ultimate Primal Rage. The main problem with these characters is that they're a little bit too situational most of the time. So you're probably wondering what other maps are good for this. Well, it's usually going to be on control maps, since both teams are vying for control over the same objective, and therefore both teams have the same opportunity to utilize the environment. It wouldn't really work well on the other game modes like Assault or Escort, where one team is attacking and one is defending, because the defending team would simply have too hard a time staying on the point. So on Nepal, this is pretty much the only control point where environmental kills are possible. But when it comes to Ilios, you actually have two different points there. So the first point, which is called Lighthouse, is essentially on the side of a cliff, and whilst the control point itself is mostly enclosed, you can sometimes surprise enemies who are rushing onto the point and knock them off the side. I would recommend Lucio or Pharah for this one. Lucio can stay on the point and easily knock people rushing through one of the doorways off the edge, and Pharah has plenty of room to play around and lots of vantage points. Roadhog isn't really that great here since he can't pull enemies off the edge and you can only really push people off, so his ultimate can be fairly effective, but that's about it. So next, the second control point on Ilios is called Well, and for a good reason too, since there is a huge well in the middle of the control point just waiting for little Timmy to fall down. So here really any of the three heroes are effective. Roadhog can pull people in from across the other side, although they will have to be close to the edge because his hook doesn't reach much further than that. Again, Pharah has plenty of room to play around, and Lucio is also outstanding here. I'm mainly just playing Roadhog because out of the three, I am by far the best with him. And finally we have the third control map, Lijiang Tower. Now Lijiang Tower doesn't really offer the same opportunity for enviro kills as the other two maps, but it can still be done. On the first capture point, called Night Market, there is one side of the capture point that you can actually fall down, so it's quite a similar situation really to the lighthouse point on Ilios, but the area of play here is much more forgiving and you'll have a much tougher time actually knocking people off. And then you have the second capture point called Garden, where Pharah can be very effective. The main route to the objective leads players over a narrow bridge where you can hover around as Pharah, and with some good timing you can concussive blast players off of there. So there you go, those are some tips for you on how to use the environment to your advantage, and definitely something you want to have in mind when considering which hero to play. I'd like to thank you guys for watching and also for your support on the previous video on countering Bastion. I honestly didn't think it'd do so well, so if you subscribe through that for more tips and tricks and guides, there will be plenty of those coming in the future. If you enjoyed the video, leaving a like down below is always appreciated, and I will see you guys next time.